almost don't even need words. Hi.
Bueno, señoras y señores, empezamos bien informal porque como ya vieron, aquí tenemos en Puerto Rico un aplauso formal a Michael, por favor. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much.
So I'll do what I did yesterday because I know they all are anxious to talk to you, and I feel them squint their eyes if I ask a stupid question. So I'm going to ask the one that I really wanted to ask you. With Henry, when you started on the screen with that character, you said I wanted to have your opinion if you had Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. For those who don't know how Michael started his career on screen. Do you think you had a similar reaction with Merle, that it's sort of a character whose humanity is complicated and complex, and then you suddenly have an outpouring of support? Basically, Henry put you on the screen and gave you a career, so I want to know if you see the parallel reaction between those two characters.
Well, they're both. Henry was really nothing like Merle.
No,
Henry is very introverted, very quiet, very fearful individual. Merle was.
It's something else. Yeah.
And not introverted, not fearful, not politically correct, not a gentleman in his own right. Yeah, he could be a gentleman. He just he phrases his words wrong. You know, he calls women sugar tits and stuff like that, and whore, and things like that. You know, because there's a scene with me and Lori, and I asked her, you know, why we never hooked up. She said, well, first off, you called me a whore. You called me, you know, all this kind of stuff. And I go, and my character, Merle says, oh yeah, Merle has a way with words, doesn't he? Something like that.
Yeah, he probably thought they were flirting.
Yeah, you guys listen. You guys probably know the words more than me. Once I say them, they're gone. They're gone. They're gone. And many times when I work, if we have to redo a scene for some sort of technical reason, I'm at a loss. I have to almost relearn the whole thing, because I learn it and then it's ready to go, and I do it, and that's it. And I give it everything I got, and I don't ever have to come back. That's my thinking. So if I give it my all the first time, I don't have to do 2 or 3 or 4 times. I just do it one time. One time is enough. You got it. Boom. If you want to do it, the best way to work with me sometimes is just put up 4 or 5 cameras. You get the medium, you get the close-up, you get the master, you get the long shot, you get different angles, and boom, you do it one time and you move on. That's what we did on the rooftop.
Okay.
That monologue on the rooftop was with 4, 5, 6 cameras all at once.
The other thing that really surprised me, something that you said, is with all the publicity about the change of showrunners, is that the writers were open to your suggestions about how Merle was going to go out and things were going to play out. Is that, you've done a lot of TV, you've done a lot of movies. Is that a usual experience for the third team of writers on a show that's the #1 show to sort of take your input in and sort of, because you own the character so much?
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, after 3 seasons, you better know what you're doing, and a lot of times you better know that, you know, I don't think I would do that. What makes Merle do it that way? You know, why would I do it that way? You know, that kind of thing. So you gotta bring up those questions, and the writers like it too, because they get caught up in all kinds of other stuff. So they're doing their gig, they're doing their job, and so they're not always remembering sometimes what has already been established, you know. So yeah, you got to follow a through line. You know, it doesn't mean you can't change. You know, as a character, the character can't grow and change. Merle changed a lot, but in a way, not really. He had always been that way. It's just that, you know, given the right situation, you know, he would have reacted and responded in a different way. Even the first scene, like you see Merle on the rooftop shooting somebody's heads off, right? T-Dog comes up and he says, stop doing that. It's like, come on. Are you serious? You know?
So I'm gonna hand it over quickly to your fans who are here to talk to you, but I've seen that you've been doing the rounds in terms of going to conventions and doing this sort of activity. What has been the distinctive experience with your fans that you've been able, in Puerto Rico, that you've been able to share in the last couple of days? Something that sets us apart a little bit.
We always have a but the language issue is there. You know, so if I talk too fast or you guys talk too fast, I don't know what you're saying, you don't know what I'm saying. But you know, I understand this.
That is universal, sir. And I never thought I'd see the day to see you do that, so. I hope somebody has it on tape.
It's here.
But it happens all the time. People come up and they're like this, and they're running in place, and they're like, yeah, they're waiting for the lady to say, okay, go ahead. Go ahead now. And they're like at a starting point, and they just come. I had one girl hug me so hard that she almost knocked me over into the other lines. It's like, boom, there was a big old bounce. It was great.
All right, so I have questions for him, but I'm sure that, así que vamos a, el que tenga preguntas rápidamente se coloca detrás del micrófono que está ahí, así que si están tímidos yo rápido les sigo preguntando, pero asumo que ustedes quieren hablar con él. All right, so here we go. Ajá. Dale, que mira.
I see Michael enjoying the screen.
What's wrong with this kid? What's the matter? It doesn't... Never mind.
Don't kill the moderator. First question.
Okay, Michael, before I ask the question, first of all, thank you for 3 seasons of The Walking Dead. You basically kicked some ass. We all love our bad guys in terms of character development, and we are very sad when we see those bad guys go in some act of redemption. Tell me about that final day with Norman.
Look, I think you're gonna get some assistance, Michael.
How do you turn this off?
Yeah, okay. You want to repeat the question?
Thank you.
Tell me about your final day with Norman and that final scene.
Oh, when
Norman kills
takes the initiative and stabs me like 8 times.
Nobody gets to yell spoiler.
What's that all about? I mean, 8 times? You know what? The boy never learns. I taught him it only takes 1 time. Anything over than any more than 1 bullet, any more than 1 stab in the head, it's overkill. You're wasting energy that could be used to survive later on. So remember when he went on the bridge and he saved the family and all this and all that, and Merle's back there going like, "Are you kidding me?" I mean, look, you know what? Fine, you could save the family and kill 15 zombies if you want to, and waste your energy, waste your precious sweat, your body fluids. You're gonna die in the woods, dude. You know? If you can do it with 1 bullet, okay, fine, go do it. If you want to waste a bullet, you know, to save somebody that's would probably never save you. But yeah, that was Merle's attitude. And you know, the deciding thing was the baby cry. You know, remember the baby was crying, and it was like that was the deciding factor for him. And also, you know, I'm not going to let him go up there by himself, so you know, I tagged along, you know, watched. It was sort of entertaining, so. Anyway.
Okay, próxima pregunta.
Do you still keep in contact with cast members of the show?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to go to the Atlanta Wizard World Comic-Con after this. And I'll go down and visit the set and say hey to everybody. And I see Norman a lot at Comic-Cons, different events. And I was just in Dallas, and David Morrissey was there, and so the governor, he plays governor, and we did a Q&A. We did one of these together. And when there was like 4,500 people in the audience. So it's kind of cool. It's very cool to talk to that many people. The sound system's really weird. So sometimes you know, when you're doing big panels with that many people and that big of an audience, it's really hard to understand each other, even when you're sitting next to each other.
Have you kept watching the show after your arc?
I do watch the show. Yeah, I'm a fan. I've always been a fan of the show, so I watched it, you know, religiously and like a lot of other people too. And because I'm a fan, I agree and I don't agree. You know, just like when I'm an actor. I'm an actor. I don't know if I'd do that, dude. You know, I do it more like this. You know, boom, and Yeah, I watch it, and some of them I like, and some of them I don't. So, no big deal.
All right.
That's okay. I like the show overall, and every single actor in that show is like just unbelievably stellar.